morning, everyone. This is Mrs. Padmashri from SNS College of Engineering. Today, I am going to discuss with you all about the topic clustering algorithm in machine learning. So, we all know that the ML algorithm is classified into two types, supervised and unsupervised. It's mainly classified into two types. And one more type is also there, it is reinforcement. And this clustering algorithm is mainly comes under unsupervised machine learning algorithm. Let's move on to the topic clustering. So many must have heard about this topic cluster. What is the meaning of the cluster? We are going to group some items. It may be anything. Grouping of items is called as clustering. So here in machine learning, we are going to provide a similarity. Like we are going to train the machine with some algorithm like clustering algorithm so that the machine will cluster the data items into groups. Then the question arises, how the machine will cluster the data items? There may be some common thing, right? So that is the thing we are taking as a similarities. Similarities among the data item. Say such as we can keep it as a patterns. Patterns may be one of the similarity, either may be the differences. So by keeping all these things, we are going to make a group. Okay, so cluster analysis is a machine learning technique which groups unlabeled data set. We are not going to label the data set, and it falls under the unsupervised machine learning algorithm. So how to define the clustering algorithm? A way of grouping the data points into different clusters consisting of similar data points. So the object with the possible similarity will be present in one group, and which has no similarities will be present in the another group. So by finding some patterns, how will you classify this? By finding some patterns in the unlabeled data set, such as we can say shape, size, color, behavior, etc., and divides them as per the presence and also the absence of those similar patterns. So it comes under unsupervised learning method. So there will not be any supervisor will be available for monitoring those process. So it is no supervision is provided, and it deals with the unlabeled data set. So after we give algorithm to the machine, after we apply the technique, each cluster or group is provided with a cluster ID. So what is the purpose of the ID? In order to identify the cluster. In order to identify the cluster, and it will be easy for the machine to classify it or to find it out. So ML system can use this ID, cluster ID, to simplify the processing of large and complex data sets. So the clustering technique commonly where we are going to use this kind of technique commonly used in statistical data analysis. So example, let's see the example of some real world application. So where this technique has been used, this is used in a mall. Obviously everyone knows that you must have visited the mall. So how the data or how the items are arranged or grouped in the mall, you can observe the things like for example the clothings. If you take the clothings, all the clothings will be arranged in one place, and if you take groceries, the groceries will be placed in the another place. So they are placed in the form of a group. They are grouped in one place. And if you take any vegetables, that will be present in another sector. So likewise, uh, based on the similarity, we are going to group the data items. So as we observed in the mall. So the clustering technique also works in the same way. Why we have to do that? Because it will be easy for the customer to access the things, right? To access the things. The same thing happens in the real world application, real world scenario also. So each and every the data that we uh, the data set that we upload to the machine, will be trained with the clustering algorithm, and I'm telling the machine to group my data set based on the similarity. So sometimes we can say if the data set is very small, it will be very easy, right? And but say the data set contains a huge data, say for 50,000 data, and we need to group it out, it will be very difficult, right? So we can apply these algorithms to make our task very easier. So application where this clustering technique is widely used in market segmentation, statistical data analysis, social network analysis, image segmentation, anomaly detection, etc. Apart from these, it is mainly used by the Amazon. So we all are very familiar about the Amazon. We used to buy so many things in online. They follow the same technique. They group the things, they group the data items. So it would be very easy for the customer to just to go through to book the items in the online platform. So and also they provide one more thing, that recommendation. So based on our need or based on our request, they will give the recommendation. So this I must have discussed in market basket analysis video also. So I'll provide the same link in this video. If you want for any clarification, you can go through that market basket analysis. There they use the same technique. It's a case study. They use the same thing. The recommendation will be sent to the user, those who purchase some items. So based on so for example, if I buy a milk packet, they'll be sending the request, the recommendation for bread, eggs, etc. So why they need to send all these things? Because of to improve the customer purchase, and also to provide the customer the things very quickly. So these all the things. And one more thing is Netflix also uses the same technique to recommend the movie recommendation system. So they follow the movie recommendation to recommend the movies, web series. So they also follow the same clustering technique. There are different types of clustering methods are available, broadly divided into hard clustering and soft clustering. So there are also other various approaches of clustering. Mainly we can partitioning clustering, density based clustering, distribution model based clustering, hierarchical clustering, and fuzzy clustering. We'll discuss one by one what is this clustering, these different types of clustering in machine learning. So K-means clustering, as I already explained in my previous video, like we are going to divide into K clusters. K, when K is equal to 5, we are going to divide into 5 number of clusters. This is most popular technique used in machine learning. It classifies the data set by just dividing the samples into different clusters. And the number of clusters may be specified, as I said, K equal to 5. As it is specified in the algorithm itself. It is very fast with fewer computations required. Okay, order of n. The complexity is the order of n. So next is mean shift algorithm. Mean shift algorithm tries to find out the dense areas in the smooth density of data points. It's an example of like centroid based model that works on updating the candidates for centroid to be the center of the point with a given region. The third one, DBSCAN algorithm. So you must have studied this DBSCAN in operating system also, how this is working, how this DBSCAN density based spatial clustering of application with noise. So it is an example of density based model. Mainly we use mean shift with some because it has some advantages. This algorithm, it focuses on mainly high density areas and are separated by the areas with the low density. So this is DBSCAN algorithm. So the rest of the types will be discussed in my next video. Thank you for watching this video.